You guys, this is becoming a mess. Oh my God. Hold up, you guys. Let me make sure I got my audio hooked up. Okay, I am on the mic. Make sure everything's working. Reduce mic background noise. Hopefully that works. Let me know if you guys hear me. Because I hear me, but I don't know if you guys hear me. Welcome everybody. You guys come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm gonna get some light in here because ooh, what the hell's going on? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got my drink. This is not looking very good whatsoever. So, oh, the news is like it's Monday, you guys. It's Monday. Welcome, everybody, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you, guys, for giving me the time to give you the news. Welcome to all the members. Shout out, please let those notifications go out. Thank you for those that have hit the like button. Let me let the people know we are live. We are live now. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. I might need some other light. Give me 1 sec, y'all. Let me get the light going. Here we go. So guess what, guys? I'm still searching for these lawsuits. Shout out to Make It Make Sense because that's how I found out about these lawsuits. I'm going through Pacer and I don't see them in there. So, keep that in mind. Maybe it's my searching. I'm not really sure. But shout out to Mims who dropped the news way before TMZ. Now, I did see that NBC News had received copies of these lawsuits. So I'm just wondering if we're just waiting for Pacer to upload them. Hold up, everybody. Let me let everybody know we are live. We are live now. Everybody come through. Guys, you guys know we've been working and working to bring the news. Now, I think Mims is still live. Otherwise, I would review his live. I don't want to be disrespectful. We are live now. While he's reading these documents and whatnot. Hey, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Oh, my hair's a mess. You follow him on TikTok? Yeah, Mims is a great content creator. Shout out to him. Always bringing the exclusives. So, yeah, shout out to him. Let me see what you guys are saying. He's no longer live. Vicky, I know he said as long as you give me credit, but I've never used his content before, so I don't want to be disrespectful. Let me do this. Let me go ahead and start with some articles of where what people are saying. But I do think it's important that everybody knows that Mims did break the news first on YouTube about these lawsuits. And it's not just listen, it is literally so many lawsuits happening. We have to talk about them. Okay. We have to talk about them. Let me show you guys. Let's start right here. Diddy lawsuit says you arred me under threat of violence. New lawsuit alleges. Now, some lawsuits, it's my understanding, have been sealed because the victims at the time were minors. Okay. So there's that. Some of these victims were minors at the time. So something to keep in mind. I think it's important to know that, the lawsuits are from different states, different people are coming forward, and the details, especially when I was hearing Mims read one of those, were like, oh my God, just really graphic, really upsetting to hear how these people were victimized, number one. So just note that. I mean, when we read Talia Graves, I was really triggered. I in particular felt some type of way and felt the reaction to hearing just her story. So I want to, if it's impacting me like that, I would imagine that some of you guys are probably feeling the same way too. So it takes space to, take space to take time off from a lot of the stuff that you guys are hearing because it can be and it is way too much to consume. Absolutely. Okay. Now hold up, y'all. I'm getting set up too over here. Let me move my stand real quick and get everything going here as we're hearing information. Hold up, y'all. Whew. And give the people some time to get in here because apparently not everybody's in here. Well, there's that too. Okay. So this is what TMZ reported. Thank you. Those for those that are coming in. You said gag orders. I don't know. It is crazy. There's more. We have a case number as well, but like I said, I don't. We don't see anything on Pacer yet. I saw it a bit ago. Puffy's name came from a childhood. Is faded puff? What? Sorry, I'm not understanding your comment. Shout out to you though. Let me see who else is in here. He just finished three lawsuits out of the five. I think it's five. So initially, when I started my life, I said it was six because I was reading an article that said that there was another one. He just filed. This is all from Busby. Remember yesterday we were live and we were like, where are all these lawsuits? Where are the people at? Like, what's going on? Well, they're here. The lawsuits are here, okay? And we are here to talk about them. So, in this lawsuit specifically that TMZ is quoting, it says Diddy forced a college freshman to take her clothes off under threat of violence. And when she was undressed, he forced himself on her and fondled her and molested her and armed her all while she was begging him to stop, at least according to a new lawsuit. The Bad Boy record founder is being sued by a woman in Tennessee. So we have a lawsuit in Tennessee who claimed that she was only 19 years old and a freshman in college in 2004 when she got invited to Diddy's photo shoot across the street from her college campus in Brooklyn, New York. Okay. According to the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, well, these outlets will say obtained by. Yeah, you obtained it, but who broke the news first? It was Mims. So shout out to Mims. Let's make sure we give flowers where flowers are due. It says, according to the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, the woman says that she was flattered and excited to receive an invite from a celebrity like Diddy. And like anybody else, and you imagine you're in college, you're getting invited to like parties and whatnot. Of course you're flattered. Of course you're like, damn, yes, like I want to go to this party. I want to do this. Or, like imagine taking pictures with these celebrities, these people that have power. They're in your music videos, MTV videos, or whatever it may be. I feel some type of way for this young girl. So it says, so she went to a photo shoot with one of her girlfriends, and where she says that she met Diddy and were invited to an after party at a Manhattan area Marriott hotel. Woo wee. You said they're filed, and she resides in Tennessee. Jurisdiction allows for the filing to be in New York. Thank you, Vicky. Shout out to Vicky. The woman says that she and her friend agreed to go to the party and they were taken to a hotel by a member of Diddy's entourage. So when they got to the hotel suite and tried to mingle with guests, drinking and listening to music, they were listening. They instead grabbed and they were instead grabbed and taken into separate rooms. She says she asked the guy who took her to the room where they were going, and he responded, "You know what you are here for." In the docs, the woman says she and her friend were then locked inside a room with Diddy, and she says he gave them drinks and told them to do cocaine, and he had prepared. Oh my God. So let me stop. He told me to do cocaine that he had prepared for them on the coffee table. So she's here with her girlfriend. And let me tell you, like, that's what you do. You go out with your girlfriend, with your guy friends or whatever. You guys are going out because you think you're not going to be separated. And then this happens. You get separated, go into different rooms. And then the person that was escorting her says, you know what you are here for. Okay. In the docs, the woman says that she and her friends were then locked inside a room with Diddy. And she says he gave them drinks and told them to do cocaine that he had prepared for use on a coffee table. It sounds very coordinated, right? Very calculated, very coordinated, very much like you're gonna be here and this is what's gonna happen. Sounds like more than one person was around, right? Like I'm side-eyeing all these bodyguards, this entourage, these people. Like that's what I'm doing right now. I am all of them. All of them. She says she didn't want to do the coke, and did he continue getting gradually more aggressive with her and her friend to the point where he began touching them without consent. The woman says when they resisted, Diddy ordered her friend to perform oral sex on them and threatened to kill them both if she didn't. The woman says her friend complied and she begged Diddy to let them leave, to which he did not agree. In her suit, the woman says Diddy soon turned his sights to her and forced her to undress under threat of violence, allegedly forcing himself on her and assaulting her. She says the door to the room ultimately opened. She believes it was due to her cries, and the security guard who had brought them to the room came in to ask if everything was all right. Oh, security guard. A security guard. Which one? And that's when her friend bolted out of the room. The woman says she couldn't escape though because Diddy was still on top of her. The woman who is suing as Jane Doe says Diddy got off her to talk to the security guard, and the men left the room, and Diddy told her to stay, threatening to kill her if she left. So you have security there. You see Diddy threat. Like, I'm just wondering there's security. They are securing Diddy. They're not securing the people in there. They're not worried about women crying, being upset. They're not worried about who is getting victimized, who is what. They are security for him, not for anybody's safety. They are there to cover up, in my opinion, and secure them. That's what they're there to do. There was another friend. It was an entourage, Layla. That's what it sounds like. It is the one who has changed the words he's using. I heard someone told It is the one who has changed the words he's using. I heard someone told me. Let me tell you guys something. You said check Discord. I will gaslit. I'm sorry. And like I said, when I read this stuff, I have to take breaks a little bit. Where in Discord, you got to tag me, love. When you're telling me to check Discord, you got to tag me, especially if I'm live. When I read things like this, okay, and I know people are out here, truth tellers, telling their truth and everything, and I do have to side eye like some of the stories because it's like, it's not that I don't believe the person that's telling them. I just want to know what part they played in somebody being victimized. That's what I want to know. I'm not. It pisses me off. I'm not like I'm. Oh my god! Hold up. Is this it? What is this? Ooh, I don't think this is it though, but this is thank you, Gaslit. Thank you. No worries. There's gonna be at least 5 of them that have been filed. Thank you, Gaslit. I see your message. This is a different one, but thank you. I'll check it. I'll check that one out when I have some time. You think they're accomplices? I'm side eyeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am side eyeing the people that are saying, "Oh, I saw something, but this was the story, and I might have heard it, but I was security, but I really wasn't there, but I was there, but I really wasn't there, and I saw something." Which one is it? Because you weren't secure, like you weren't there for anybody's safety. You were there to secure Diddy, right? So then suddenly here we go, 15, 20 years later, I am side eyeing the person that is utterly there to secure the perpetrator, and that's there for these people to get away, and then somehow somebody gets touched by an angel, and then they start saying, well, the truth is this, and I'm exposing it now. I'm just saying, okay? Because when you hear stories like this right here, you tell me how that doesn't hurt you. How that could be you, that could have been your daughter, that could have been your son, that could be anybody Then suddenly we got people coming back and say, well, this is how it happened. And this is how it went down because I remember. But now we're changing that narrative. Yeah, acting like suddenly we have morals, right? Acting like I really wasn't there, but I was there, but I wasn't there. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Acting like we knew about those after parties, but really it wasn't. I didn't go to those parties. I went to the other ones, but I knew that there was these other parties, but I didn't go to those. Okay, all right, all right. Let's keep reading. The woman who was suing as Jane Doe says Diddy got off her to talk to the security guard. And then the men left the room and Diddy told her to stay, threatening to kill her if she left. She says she sat in the dark room by herself for 30 minutes until a different security guard came and told her she could leave. She says she got her things, left, and immediately called a taxi back to her college dorm. Some 20 years later, the woman is now suing. She wants a jury trial. She's being repped by Tony Busby, the attorney who says he's representing over 120 alleged Diddy victims. Diddy's bad boy corporations are also being sued, as is the Marriott International. Bitch. You guys are going to get me cussing today. Marriott International. Somebody's got to go cancel their the points. Somebody's got to go ask questions to the Marriott International. Mm-hmm. Listen, when Busby said I'm dropping names of establishments, I'm dropping names of establishments. That's what he just did right there. Marriott International Hotel. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. For those that, know the corporation, understand, well, you guys know. Okay. It's about time. It's about time a hotel gets sued, right? That's right. Busby says Marriott management was well aware of Diddy and his activities and looked the other way rather than intervene. Wait a minute. So hold up. Okay. Because here's a situation where you have multiple people involved. Okay. Not just one person, it's multiple people. You have security, you have their entourage, you have more than one security. It sounds like they're walking and going in, they're intervening because they're hearing somebody crying and they're concerned. This is a hotel, right? Security in the hotel is not intervening. That's what it sounds like. Okay, so he probably paid those people off. He probably paid the hotel, everybody, right? He paid everybody off. I am so glad that this isn't just about suing Diddy, that this is about bringing down everybody else that is well aware of everything that's going on. No different than what happens in Scientology. It's not just about Scientology. It's about all of those, like the LAPD, that those that have sat there and know what's going on and don't say anything, right? Because it shouldn't just be mandated reporters that have to report shit. No, if you guys see somebody in distress, you guys should be reporting that shit too, right? Adults, everybody, cleaning staff, people that change your linens, or whatever it may be, security, everybody. You mean to tell me, let me ask you guys a question, and some of you guys might not like what I have to say. Okay. Gene Deal, who's come to YouTube and said a bunch of stuff. You mean to tell me that out of the 20 some years or however long he was working with Diddy, he never saw this shit right here go down? Did he ever see somebody get hurt while he was secured, doing his job with security? Did he ever intervene when some shit was going on? I just want to know. Are we just going to ignore that? I want to know. Because and I've quoted Gene Deal. I love that he's speaking out. But I also think that you have to understand that some of us have questions about this. What did you see? Because here are these lawsuits. What did you see? That's what I want to know. I can come up here and say a bunch of truths, right? At least what I deem them. But if I didn't do shit when things were going down, then what does that make me? A truth teller now? I'm absolved from all the shit that's been happening? Help me understand this. He as well as everybody else that is in Diddy's entourage has to know that this day was coming when things were going to be in question, especially with his character and everybody else, right? You can't be complacent, you can't play ignorance anymore because at some point he's going to get mentioned in one of these lawsuits. You mean to tell me 120 lawsuits is coming down and he won't be mentioned? Why is he changing his tune now? Somebody told me. So no, no, sir, you did like I don't know how many videos on your channel. I even copied and clipped some of them. What's going on? I heard somebody told I heard somebody told me the words haven't changed up for no reason, but I'm just speculating. Something's off about all of this. Okay? It just it's weird. Anyways, let's keep reading. So Diddy's bad boy corporations are also being sued as is Marriott International. Busby says Marriott management was well aware of Diddy and his activities and looked the other way rather than intervene. We reached out to Diddy's camp and Marriott. So far, no word back. Now, what was the name of the hotel of what you call it? The one with where everything happened with Cassie. I think it was like International Continental or something like that. Something to that effect. It was like the Continental International, and they closed shop a couple years back after the video dropped, right? They closed shop, but it doesn't mean that they also can't be held. I don't know. Can they be held liable? I always assumed something like that, right? People were paid the Intercontinental because this was, yes, thank you. I do wonder for those that might be smarter. Let me know in the chat, like if you know this. Um, what does that look like for them, especially if that hotel is closed? But it just seems to me that this man has no care and he did what he did, hired a security, and the security was okay with the shit that was going on. Okay. Sean Diddy Combs accused of S assaulting a minor, multiple rapes in new lawsuit. New lawsuits. There's, I think, a total of 5. My understanding, a total of 5 lawsuits that have just dropped today. Today. And here I am Monday, and I'm like, I'm not ready for Monday. Well, Monday is ready for all of us. Okay. Today, 5 lawsuits. 6 new accusers. This is where I got my number 6. I said, I know I saw the number somewhere. We have 6 new accusers. Let me update this. 6 new accusers. Because initially we thought it was 5. There might be some lawsuits that are sealed. 6 new accusers. They could still be sued though, right, Vicky? Let me know. 6 new accusers of Sean Combs have filed lawsuits against the music mogul for alleged R, S abuse, and S assault. I heard 5, but now you guys said this is where the number 6 came from. I know I know I read it from somewhere. I said, I know I read it from somewhere. 2 Jane Does and 4 John Does. Okay. 2 Jane Does, 4 John Does. Be 6. Filed civil lawsuits against Combs in New York on Monday, today. The cases include alleged incidences from 1995 through 2021. 1995. And you mean to tell me, like, what? This man has never been charged criminally with any of this from 1995? His entourage, his security, the hotels have all been protecting this guy? What happened? Who said this was okay? Who said this was okay? All right. One Jane Doe accuses Combs of R-ing her in a Manhattan Marriott hotel in 2004 when she was 19 years old. Another woman claims Combs slammed her head into the wall and R'd and struck and threatened her during a promotional party for Biggie Smalls. One More Chance music video. You go. Right there. So one Jane Doe accuses Combs of R-ing her in a Manhattan Marriott hotel. There's the Marriott right there in 2004. That's crazy. When she was 19 years old. This girl is probably my age. Yeah. I graduated from high school in 2003. We're just about the same age, probably. It's crazy. Another woman claims Combs slammed her head into the wall and arred and struck and threatened her during a promotional party for Biggie Smalls. One More Chance music video. One man claims he was drugged and assaulted by Combs and multiple others, unnamed men, at a 2021 party. Another says he was a minor when he was assaulted at Combs Hampton's white party in 1998. Oh, okay. Where's Arsenio Hall and Howie Mandel? You know, they had those parties with the children. The children aren't going to the white parties, right? The children aren't going to the after parties. Is that right? Who said that? Because those after parties aren't family parties. The children, there's no children in those white parties. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. None of that. It is horrific to hear these details. But you got to understand these celebrities that are talking right now about these parties. What happened? They said that there was children. No, this is what there was an after party. But somebody was assaulted that was a minor in 1998 in one of those white parties. Which one is it? Those white parties that everybody, y'all look at those photos, you're like, whoa. Just kind of makes you wonder how many victims they had after those parties. Like, what happened? No. Mm-mm. It's just crazy. Yet another man says he was working security at a party in 2006 in Combs' house in New York, where he was allegedly given a laced drink and pushed into a van and assaulted by the music mogul. Wow. This is crazy. Yet another man says he was working security at a party in 2006, Combs' home or his house in New York, where he was allegedly given a laced drink, pushed into a van, and assaulted by music mogul. So he was just walking around assaulting people? That's crazy. Yeah, remember when we watched the clip of Nick Cannon speaking about how the Diddy parties were back in the day? He mentioned that they looked a lot like the music video on One More Chance Rabbit. It's crazy, man. The lawsuit named Combs various businesses as defendants, while one of the men who accuses Combs of assaulting him in a Macy's in 2008, lists the department store as a defendant. Macy's department store? Wait a minute. Is that right? Thank you, MJ. Tell him, put that shit in all caps. Complicit. They said a Macy's. Let me read that again because I'm like, maybe I misread it. Hold up. The lawsuit names Combs' various businesses as defendants, while one of the men who accuses Combs of assaulting him in a Macy's in 2008, this guy's like a complete predator, you guys. Like, what? It lists one of the department stores as a defendant. The Marriott, Macy's, Intercontinental. Oh my God. USA Today reached out. No, USA Today says they reached out to Macy's, Marriott, and Combs for comment. I'm sure they don't have a comment. So Macy's department store, like that one is, wow. That's new to me. I did not expect a Macy's to be called out. So they also covered up an R-ing in their department store. Yeah, his right, Ingrid, his clothing line, Sean John, was at Macy's. All of that was at Macy's. So if an R-ing happened, let's just say that he was working there or whatever, and an R-ing happened at Macy's and they didn't report, because you know that would have been like headline news. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, somebody gets R'd by Diddy at a Macy's, that would have been headline news. So they conveniently covered this ish up. I'm glad. Let me tell you, shout out to let me say this, okay? I was a little worried about Tony Busby. I really was. But I'm so glad that department stores and banks, sounds like it might be banks, department stores, hotels, that these mother effers are being called out because they need to be, you guys. I want to know if I'm going to be shopping at a Macy's stores anymore. I want to know how come Macy's did not report this, because I would, if the perpetrator is going to try to cover up. But what about this third party entity? Okay. I'm glad. I am glad. Yeah. Fuck the Macy's Day Parade, because y'all covered some shit. Okay. I'm going to say that, like, hashtag fuck that parade. That's what I'm going to say about that. They knew it. How could you, in that they're being named? Well, what comment are they going to make as a department store? We do not support. I mean, let me give you guys an example. When Costco got put in about the baby oil, what did they do immediately? They made a statement. They said, listen, we don't sell baby. Not only do we not sell baby oil, but we don't sell baby oil in bulk. That's what they said. So I'm waiting for Macy's to say some shit, because I'm telling you, they need to just go away, go away. All of them. It should be fair game. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just can't. Yeah, they could have called the cops as an independent person. Like, a crime just happened at your business. Like, what the hell? I don't know. I don't know. Well, and I mean, they might start even closing more now that, if that is known, I want to know. Did it happen there? That's what I want to know. Shout out to you, Blue Rose. Okay, let's keep going. So the accusers are the first of the 120 victims with claims against Combs, 54, which a Texas-based lawyer, Tony Busby, announced earlier this month. Now, the attorney revealed on the first at a press conference that he was representing 120 accusers. Okay, and that he was also going to be talking about, because the businesses facilitated the S assault with a controlled substance, and there's possible videos as well. I mean, Tony Busby said, we will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. Well, damn. And that is also a fucking Macy's store. Like, that is like, I would have never thought that a Macy's stores would have been an implicated party. Who would have known, you guys? Who would have known that? Who would have known that? Did anybody expect that? I am in shock by that. Here it is. There is more, and then there's more, because it's like a total of 5 lawsuits. All right, now let me see. I'm gonna see if we have any updates on our pacer here. See if we have any updates, because I want to know what is going on. What is going on? So 2 Jane Does and 4 John Does. That would make it 6. That would make it 6. This is crazy, you guys. Here it is. New lawsuits accuse. There's more that's being reported. New lawsuits accuse Sean Diddy Combs of S assault against 6 people, including a minor. At least 6 lawsuits were filed against the hip hop mogul in federal court in Manhattan. They were filed anonymously, 2 by women identified as Jane Does and 4 by men identified as John Does. The accusers are part of what their lawyer says is a group of more than 100 alleged victims who are in the process of taking legal action against Combs in the wake of his trafficking arrest last month. One of the John Does, a man living in North Carolina. So we have somebody that lives in North Carolina, somebody that lives in Tennessee, alleges that Combs fondled his area when he was 16 at one of the rapper's famous white parties in Long Island. Oh my God, in Long Island, Hamptons in 1998. The details are being leaked, you guys. Honestly, Cerise, you ain't never lying. He's an equal opportunist artist. And then the people that covered up had no problem with that. That's crazy. Yeah, so they're suing the Marriott and they're also suing a Macy's. So what they're saying, so what Tony Busby said is that not only were they going after, Diddy and those involved. So what's going to happen is all these security people that were working for him, they're probably going to start being named at some point in this situation. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. So they're suing them because of the simple fact that they were well aware of the different things that were happening and didn't report them. And you can do that. You can definitely get in trouble for not reporting or for covering up for another person. You can be named. So, yes, they are suing various other details, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Ariel has been leaking information, but we've been waiting for her lawsuits. Maybe she'll file this week now that she see buzz, now that everybody's filing. How embarrassing for the kids to hear all this. Even worse if they find out Diddy had something to do with his mom's passing. Well, listen, Diddy didn't do right by his children whatsoever. I'm sorry. Like, even when the attorney says, oh, he's a good father. Are you sure about that? You guys see Christian Combs? He was partying it up before his dad's hearing. You guys, he's also been implicated in one of the lawsuits with Diddy. So he's not doing right. He never did right by his children. I don't think so. I mean, I feel it's horrible to hear this, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like these people are monsters and they need to be exposed. Yeah. And just because you don't have a job that mandates reporting doesn't mean you don't have that's my point, Cheeks. It's like just because you don't have a job that mandates you, like, not a lot of people are mandated reporters, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't report, if that makes sense. Thank you for saying that. You guys know how many lives have been saved, how many kids have been saved from people that aren't mandated reporters, but that they felt inclined to report because they had concerns for somebody's safety? You're absolutely right, Cheeks. Thank you for saying this. Um, you said what really shocked me is how long this went on without repercussions. Unapproachable light, yes and no. But part of it is because, like, I think it's been a way of life for some of these people. Like, it's been a way of life for some of these folks to just do this shit and get away with it. Like, not giving a care in the world, not even it's so sad to me. Yeah. Yeah. And some of these people are these are your police officers. These are your people that give keys. These are people that perpetrated this. These are people that willfully look away from from the top. You can't ignore none of those. Okay, let's keep reading this. So one of the John Does, a man living in North Carolina, alleges that Diddy fondled his area and he was just 16 and at one of the rapper's famous white parties in the Long Island Hamptons in 1998. The man alleges that during a conversation about possibly breaking into the music industry, Combs abruptly ordered the then teen to drop his pants. According to the lawsuit, Combs explained to him that it was a rite of passage to be, oh my God, a rite of passage to becoming a music star. At one point, asking the then teen, don't you want to break into the business? The man said he complied out of fear, anxiety, and power imbalance he felt with Combs, only realizing later that what had actually happened was as assault. Until Monday's lawsuit, Combs had already been accused in civil cases and his criminal indictment of S activity with adults. Okay. So we are going to this is already stuff that's already be said. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of Mims. If you guys, let me share his channel, you guys, because I know he said he was fine with it as long as you give him credit. But this is his channel for those that don't know. He broke it here on YouTube. Let me make sure I put this in the chat for everybody to go sub up. I think his goal is to get to 200,000 before the end of the year. So hopefully he'll get there. I mean, he's getting close. So he broke this news here on YouTube and had this lawsuit. Basically, let us know what was going on. He broke it first before TMZ, that's for sure. So he's gonna get right to it, and we're just gonna give commentary. You guys check him out. I want to get right to where he talks about the introduction.
Damages for sexual assault and the R word. For decades, Sean Combs abused, molested, R-worded, assaulted, threatened, and coerced men, women, and minors and others for sexual gratification, to assert dominance, and to conceal his abhorrent conduct. He accomplished these acts by and through a criminal enterprise built on the success as a record producer, and record executives. Combs is one of the wealthiest musical artists in the world, behind the facade of being a 3-time Grammy Award winner, discovering and developing multiple famous musical artists, and ranking on Forbes' list of the highest paid entertainers in the world. There exists something sinister, a dark underbelly of crime, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, and prostitution. Guys, we have like 1,000 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button. Again, this is breaking news. And shout out to the ones who just subscribed. We're now at 194,000, so we're only 6,000 away from our 200,000 subscriber goal.
Yeah, hopefully he gets there. Let me get to the narrative. Hold up.
By him during the last decades, Combs operated his business headquartered at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Holdings, Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment. Corporate entities in Combs' business portfolio included record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcohol, spirits promoting business, a marketing agency, talent discovery, a television network, and media company. On the surface, each of these businesses served a legitimate purpose.
Yes, please take a moment to go show Mims some love. Yeah, you guys make sure, like I said, he's got a goal. Make sure you guys go support him so he can get there. I know he's been fine with people playing his content as long as he gets credit. You know, hopefully he's okay with that. I have not seen the lawsuit yet, so I'm just kind of reviewing a little bit of it here.
The entertainment, music, and subjects. But in reality, Combs, by and through himself and his agents, employees, and contractors, use these businesses to sexually assault, abuse, threaten, and coerce hundreds of individuals through sexual quid pro quo schemes, as well as to take advantage of individuals with impunity, thinking the victims would never seek recourse. And he almost got away with it if it wasn't for Cassie lighting that match. Combs and his agents, employees, and contractors through these Combs businesses would tell victims, this is what it takes to be famous. What are you willing to do to become a star and perform a sexual act, or else to coerce the victim into performing a non-consensual sexual act for the gratification of Combs and his cohorts. Guys, we have over 1,500 in the chat. Let's try to get to 1,000 likes as quickly as possible. For you guys who don't know, likes are just a free way to support the channel. It lets YouTube know that we are live and we're talking.
Have y'all hit the like button? Speaking of which, please hit the like button. Thank you.
For Puffy to completely, wipe out his insurance, I'm pretty sure they're already teetering on dropping him, but it's another way to get money from Puffy. So they will include every business that was, he was involved with at the time to see if they can also sue the insurance. That's why they're always talking about his businesses. The Combs businesses constitute an ongoing organization whose members functioned as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objectives of Combs. Combs' perversive history of sexual assault and violence. For years, Combs and his businesses engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women, men, and minors. This abuse was, at times, verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated both men and women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with both commercial sex workers and unsuspecting partygoers. In some cases, these were individuals who were contractors or vendors. In other cases, they were random individuals pulled from a hotel lobby, a show, or off the street. Combs ensured participation from those individuals by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them with or without their knowledge, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation, violence, and illicit drugs. Combs, while celebrated for his business acumen and influence in the entertainment world, has often been described in a more troubling light as a powerful, manipulative, and problematic. His aggressive tactics, both in business and personal dealings, have drawn criticism, with many viewing him as someone who leverages his power to intimidate and control. This darker side of Combs' persona has been underscored by the numerous lawsuits and allegations that have surfaced over the years. Despite his undeniable success, his rise to the top is marred by a reputation for being ruthless and manipulative, using his influence in ways that have left a trail of legal and personal controversies, including but not limited to the nightclub shooting,
multiple allegations of assault, business disputes claimed by Cassie Ventura. I'm going to try to get right. I want to get right to where he talks about the alleged events. So Combs particularly, okay, so he used, okay, let me start right here.
We got a couple chemists in the building.
All right, here we go.
Combs' recurrent and pervasive physical abuse took place for multiple decades. His tendencies of violence and sexual assault were no doubt well known amongst his colleagues, employees, agents, and businesses. On numerous occasions, from at least on or about 1996 and continuing for years, Combs assaulted women and men by striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. Combs also assaulted children, both physically and sexually.
Okay, 1996. I think this is a very interesting time because I'm like, well, who was around Diddy around that time? Keep that in mind. Who was around Diddy around that time? That says a lot to me because it goes back to who was failing to speak, who was well aware. Like in 1996, Combs was found guilty of criminal mischief by threatening a photographer. I remember that. That was also discussed. But like all these people that saw all of this go down, who was around this? Who was around this?
16. In December 23, an anonymous plaintiff sued Combs in New York for allegedly drugging and gang R-rating her in 2003 when she was only 17 years old. Rodney Little Rod Jones, one of Combs' former producers, sued Combs for allegedly forcing him to engage in unwanted sex acts and sex trafficking, among other allegations. Giving minors ecstasy, MDMA, and other date R-word drugs. In May of 2024, former found contempt for women and a desire to dominate both minors.
And he's just going over the parties. I want him to get to the facts. Oh shit, we got pictures too. Damn, hold up.
Here for Combs to sexually assault that person. Unfortunately, plaintiff was one such victim. A photograph of an exemplary container used by Combs and or his agent's employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below.
Oh my God, what? Hold up. So, okay, so factual allegations. This is where I wanted him to go.
Guys, we are already over 1,000. Let's try to get to 2,000 pretty quickly. Again, it just lets YouTube know that we're here. Plaintiff worked for Royal Reigns Management, a prestigious company based out of New York City with additional offices in Los Angeles and Latin. Through plaintiff's industry connection, he gained access to parties associated with Combs and Bad Boy. One party took place in around October of 2021. These connections and invitations ultimately led to a life-altering and traumatic experience for plaintiff. Combs' businesses picked plaintiff up from the airport and transported him to New York City where the party was to take place. Upon arrival, plaintiff noticed several well-known artists in attendance. Plaintiff was immediately offered what he was told was ecstasy by associates of Combs' businesses, which plaintiff refused. Plaintiff limited himself to just one drink. Even though plaintiff only consumed one alcoholic drink, the effects of the drink were immediate and overwhelming. The behavior towards plaintiff mimics a pattern of Combs and his agents, employees drugging unsuspecting victims in order to make it easier for Combs to sexually assault that person. Unfortunately, plaintiff was one such victim. A photograph of an exemplary container used by Combs and or his agents' employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below.
This is what they were using for the GHB. Like this shit looks medical. What is this? Do I have any like medical professionals? What is this called? There's got to be a name for this kind of like thing here. Let me know.
So y'all, we haven't seen this yet. Nobody has actually showed us anything from the parties outside of maybe a photo right before they were taken advantage of.
Wow. And it's true because outside of just pictures.
Plaintiff soon became disoriented and the room started spinning. In a state of confusion, he attempted to remove himself from the situation, seeking a safe space. As plaintiff tried to leave, a male voice told him to hold on and he promised to help him. The next thing plaintiff remembers is being in a bedroom. Despite being vaguely aware of his speak or fight back, plaintiff was paralyzed, feeling as if he was trapped in his own body.
So that sounds very familiar to what a lot of the lawsuits have said. Like the next thing plaintiff remembers is being in a bedroom. Despite being vaguely aware of his surroundings, he could not move, speak, or fight back. Plaintiff was paralyzed, feeling as if he was trapped in his own body. Multiple men began assaulting him through sodomy and other forced acts. He distinctly recalls seeing Combs above him, naked, and at one point during the assault, during this time, plaintiff was sodomized by at least 3 men. That's crazy, yo.
Men began to sexually assault him through the back door and other forced acts. Now remember, guys, the GHB stuff, we've learned that it kind of makes you forget afterwards, so your memory of the event will be fuzzy. It also I guess you could say you don't feel pain. Like, I guess it blocks your pain receptor. So if somebody is forcing themselves on you, you're not going to feel it till the drug wears off. So it makes it easy for somebody to R-word you. Just, if we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. He distinctly recalls seeing Combs above him, naked, at one point during the assault. During this time, plaintiff was sodomized by at least 3 men. The footnote says a picture of a vial recovered from a Combs cohort. So his co-conspirators are turning on him. But this has been
okay.
Mo, we've been following this for over a year now. This is what he does. Plaintiff could feel a difference in the size of the men when he was being sodomized. Firmer conforming the.
Okay. Let me stop. So I'm gonna read this. Plaintiff could feel a difference in the size of the men when he was being sodomized, further confirming the presence of multiple attackers. Plaintiff continued to attend therapy sessions to address the trauma from the experiences. Get the fuck out of here. Like, are you kidding me?
The presence of multiple attackers. Now, I think at least 2 of the victims have said that Puffy's eggplant is small. So I'm guessing that's why that was in there. Basically, they ran a train on this man. He thought he was going for a party when
Yeah.
he could not, when he would not accept the ecstasy, they gave him a spiked drink, allegedly.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a train. That's what that sounds like.
Right, and you can't fight back.
Especially if you can't, like, if you can't feel pain, if you're drugged, because typically that's what happens, right? Like, things are blocked, so you can't really feel anything.
Exactly. Plaintiff continues to attend therapy sessions to address the trauma from the experiences. So we're not going to go through the cause of actions, but let's see.
Okay, so let me see if he takes us to the other lawsuit. Hold up, y'all. Does he go to the other lawsuit? I don't know if he does. Let me see. Okay. Oh shit, here we go. In factual allegations, another lawsuit. In 2008, plaintiff worked as an advisor for Echo Clothing. Not Echo Clothing. I have an Echo watch, y'all. I have some Echo clothing from back in the day. I do. I was cleaning out and I said I saved some Echo brand stuff. You said that's a vile rabbit? Okay. Thank you, Oklahoma. Tell them to hit that like button. Please, thank you. And please go support Mims, who broke this on YouTube. Shout out to Mims. He's doing fantastic work. Shout out to him. Echo. In 2008, plaintiff worked as an advisor for Echo Clothing and had then been employed by the company for approximately 7 years. Echo Clothing at the time was among the most popular clothing brands in the country. Yeah, it was. In 2008, Combs' Sean John clothing line was also hitting peak popularity. Plaintiff had in fact met Combs several times in connections with Combs' development and marketing of Sean John clothing. Echo and Sean John were competing lines within the clothing industry, both having had a large amount of success within the hip hop community. Moreover, both lines had relationships with and were carried at the time by Macy's. There's Macy's, a well-known department store. Macy's had, hell yeah, Macy's had Echo, Baby Fat at one point, if I remember correctly. Fat Farm, Baby Fat, Fat Farm. Yeah, because then you had Tommy was up and popping around the time and they were competing. Anyways. Oh my God. All right. Moreover, both lines in relationships with and were carried at the time by Macy's, a well-known department store. In or around Macy 2008, plaintiff was in the stock room at Macy's flagship store at Herald Square in Manhattan when Combs and 3 of his bodyguards entered the stock room. This motherfucker. Like, are you kidding me?
Competing lines within the clothing industry, both having a large amount of success within the hip hop community. Moreover, both lines had relationships with and were carried at the time by Macy's, a well-known department store. In or about May 2008, plaintiff was in the stockroom at Macy's flagship store at Herald Square in Manhattan when Combs and 3 of his bodyguards entered the stockroom. Plaintiff came upon Combs and his bodyguards at the T.
All right, shout out to Mims. Plaintiff came upon Combs and his bodyguard at a T junction in the stockroom, where plaintiff had very little room to maneuver. Combs was flanked by 2 can we drop some bodyguard names on this one? Hold up, let me shut up because this is like getting to me. Hold up.
Junction in the stockroom, where plaintiff had very little room to maneuver. Combs was flanked by 2 large bodyguards to the left and 1 large bodyguard to the right.
So the bodyguards were helping him perpetrate on people. The bodyguards. We need to start. What did I say in the community post about a week and a half ago? I said, we need to start naming all those bodyguards. If you did any type of bodyguard work with Diddy, we need to start paying attention to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. Name them. All of them. Mm-hmm.
Immediately after turning the corner in the stockroom, plaintiff was hit hard around the base of his neck, possibly with a pistol. The blow forced plaintiff to his hands and knees. As plaintiff looked up, he saw that each of the bodyguards had guns on their waistbands. Plaintiff heard multiple voices calling out things like, "I'll kill you."
Combs approached plaintiff while plaintiff was still on his hands and knees and said, "S my dick, Echo," referring to the clothing line that plaintiff worked for. Combs thereafter forced his penis into plaintiff's mouth and proceeded to forcefully and brutally and orally plaintiff. Combs continued for at least 2 minutes until ejaculating. While orally R-ing plaintiff. Oh my God. Combs grabbed plaintiff's hair and made derogatory remarks like, "You like that, white boy?"
Combs approached plaintiff while plaintiff was still on his hands and knees and said, "Suck my D, Echo," referring to the clothing line that plaintiff worked for. Combs thereafter forced his Lil Diddy into plaintiff's mouth and proceeded to forcibly and brutally orally R-word the plaintiff. Combs continued for at least 2 minutes until he finished. So we've already heard that his piece is small and that he is a 1-minute man.
Oh my God. Shout out to Mims. After he was finished, Combs threw plaintiff's head aside and said words to the effect of, "Shut up or I'll kill you." Combs and his bodyguard began to leave, taunting plaintiff as they did. Combs proceeded to gather Sean John merchandise from the stockroom. He left the stockroom and headed out to the Macy's retail floor, where he began passing out merchandise to a adoring crowd as if nothing had happened. That's crazy, you guys. That is crazy.
While orally R-wording plaintiff, Combs grabbed plaintiff's hair and made derogatory comments like, "You like that, white boy?" After he was finished, Combs threw plaintiff's head aside and said words to the effect of, "Shut up or I'll kill you." Combs and his bodyguard began to leave, taunting plaintiff as they did. Combs proceeded to gather Sean John merchandise from the stockroom. He left the stockroom and headed out to the Macy's retail floor, where he began passing out merchandise to an adoring crowd as if nothing had happened.
In shock and traumatized, plaintiff gathered himself and went to Macy's security to report the assault. By this point, Combs and his bodyguard had left the store. Plaintiff was told that someone would speak with him, but no one ever did. Okay, let me go back a little bit. So I want to understand this piece. In shock and traumatized, plaintiff gathered himself and went to. So plaintiff told Macy's security to report his assault. At that point, Combs and his bodyguards had left the store. Plaintiff was told that someone would speak with him, but no one ever did. Shortly after, Macy's stopped letting plaintiff into the flagship Herald Square store. So, Macy's security knew and didn't report this shit. They knew and didn't report this. Y'all hear that? We were wondering about Macy's. There you go. This is how they're implicated. This is how they're implicated. That's right.
Y'all, this is some sinister shit. So all the man did wrong was work for a competing brand?
Pretty much. 7 years as an Echo brand, and he got this happened to him? That's crazy.
Imagine just being at work and some rich business owner comes in with their bodyguards, intimidates you with the guns, threatens to kill you, and forces you to, like,
it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Let me go ahead and I don't know. It keeps going. Approximately 3 weeks later, Terry Lundgren, CEO of Macy's, pressured Echo executive to fire plaintiff because Macy's had just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Sean John Clothing. Echo thereafter terminated plaintiff from employment, and plaintiff was told he could no longer work in the company paid apartment. Company paid apartment. This is the name, Terry Lundgren. Lundgren. I'm typing the name so I know what I'm looking for. Terry Lundgren. Oh my God. This guy? This guy. Let me keep my comments to myself. So it says plaintiff approximately 3 weeks later, Terry Lundgren, I think that's how you say Lundgren, CEO of Macy's, pressured Echo executives to fire plaintiff because Macy's had just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Sean John Clothing. Echo thereafter terminated plaintiff from employment, and plaintiff was told he could no longer live in his company-paid apartment. Plaintiff is informed and believes that the report of the assault was destroyed or otherwise purged from Macy's records, and no action was ever taken as a result of the report. Plaintiff ultimately had to move out of New York. Plaintiff still fears for his life as a result of the incident and the threats made against him on that day, including the fact that plaintiff was known to Combs by way of his work with rival clothing Echo. I mean, I would be worried too. That is great. Can you just imagine you're just working for the company and then here comes the person that's just imagine that shit. That is crazy. Here's the other lawsuit. Like you're just there to work. You know, Echo is paying an apartment. By the way, Echo was a really nice brand too. So I'm like, oh my God, you went to that length? You went to that length to try to like silence. This is crazy, you guys. Hold up.
That the report of the sexual assault was destroyed or otherwise purged from Macy's records, and no action was ever taken as a result of the report. Plaintiff ultimately had to move out of New York. Plaintiff still fears for his life as a result of the incident and threats made against him on that day, including the fact that plaintiff was known to Combs by way of his work with rival clothing company Echo.
Yeah, that's it.
That one. Okay, this is the last one. Again, the complaints, there are 4, but we can only do 3 because it looks like one of them is sealed. Should it come unsealed or become unsealed, then I will definitely read that one to you. But let's get to the factual allegations of this one.
Yeah, let's get to those allegations because now I'm wondering. Here it is. Sean Combs' infamous white parties. Oh, this is with I think this is the one that mentions the white parties, by the way. Sean Combs' infamous white parties were legendary events known for their exclusivity, extravagance, and strict dress code, where attendees were required to wear all white. These high-profile parties, particularly those held at Combs' estates in the Hamptons, attracted an A-list celebrities from across the entertainment, fashion, and business worlds. The events were lavishly decorated, featured live music performance, boasted top-tier food and beverages. The atmosphere at these parties was one of the opulence and luxury, often making the headlines for their celebrity guest lists, over-the-top entertainment, and the stunning aesthetics of the event. Many unsuspecting individuals were recruited to attend these parties. Some of these recruitments took place. Hold up. Let's see if he goes down. Took place in Manhattan. Many individuals were also recruited in Los Angeles, were paid to fly in to attend these functions. In 2006, plaintiff was employed by a security firm, Mass Security, where he provided security services for nightclubs and private events. In August of that year, plaintiff accepted a last-minute job at Combs' East Hampton property, which he believed was hosting an exclusive white party for a large, affluent crowd. Plaintiff noted that the guests arrived in luxury vehicles and many appeared to be executives. Upon plaintiff arrival, he was greeted by Combs, the event host, who expressed interest in meeting all staff members. During these interactions, Combs offered plaintiff another job opportunity working security, which plaintiff ultimately declined due to his father's severe illness and the challenges of relocating. Combs appeared sympathetic to plaintiff's situation and understanding of his decision. Okay, keeps going. As the event progressed, Combs targeted plaintiff and provided him with 2 alcohol drinks throughout the night. After consuming the second drink, plaintiff began to feel extremely ill and leaned against his truck for support. Based on the information and belief, Combs, by himself or through his agents/employees, previously laced the drinks with drugs, including but not limited to GHB and or ecstasy. The behavior towards plaintiff mimics a pattern of Combs and his agent and employees drugging unsuspected victims in order to make it easier for Combs to sexually assault that person. Lord have mercy. Oh my God. Hold up, y'all. I missed it.
Event progressed, Combs targeted plaintiff and provided him with 2 alcoholic drinks throughout the night. After consuming the second drink, plaintiff
Crazy,
began to feel
man.
extremely ill and leaned against his truck for support. Based on information and belief, Combs, by himself or through his agents' employees, previously laced the drink with drugs, including but not limited to GHB and/or ecstasy. This behavior towards plaintiff mimics a pattern of Combs and his agents' employees drugging unsuspecting victims in order to make it easier for Combs, to sexually assault that person. Unfortunately, plaintiff was one such victim. A photograph of an exemplary container used by Combs and his agents' employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below. Now,
There's that. So was he doing it on everybody? Was he doing this with everybody?
we saw this in the first case. Remember this.
So, yeah, this picture's from the first case. So all these victims identified this? That's crazy. Oh my
These
God.
are all filed by Busby Law Firm, so they are going to be somewhat similar.
It says Combs approached him again, inquiring about his well-being and displaying what plaintiff's well initially interpreted as a concern. However, he had soon found himself being forcefully pushed into an open van by Combs, an act that left him with considerable
Rose,
pain.
men love your lives and integrity. Are these include? A lot of men won't come forward if
Hold
they
up.
are sexually abused.
That is true. Let me go back over here. I'm going to see if I can go. Here it is. So he says Combs approached him again, inquiring about his well-being and displayed what plaintiffs initially interpreted as a concern. However, he soon found himself being forcibly pushed into an open van by Combs, an act that left him in considerable pain. Once inside the van, plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in the system. In a horrific turn of events, Combs sexually assaulted plaintiff by inserting his area into plaintiff's anus, sodomizing him, all the while dismissing the plaintiff's plea for help by repeatedly saying, "You'll be all right." That's disgusting. After the assault, Combs left plaintiff in the van and proceeded back to the party. This guy is like, oh my God. Plaintiff struggled to leave the party due to the drugs and he believed to be in a system from the alcoholic drinks Combs provided. As plaintiff was leaving the party, he experienced a disturbing sensation as a lubricant-like fluid leaked from him, which he believed to be semen, causing him profound disgust. Oh, yeah, man. Shout out to these John Does that are speaking out, because like people don't realize how often men get violated and they don't ever speak out. Like the bravery of this person, shout out to him. They don't ever they don't ever they don't speak out, guys. That's crazy, man. Oh my gosh. This must be this one. Okay, I think I got the lawsuit over here now. Shout out to Come Get This Commentary, Kiva. If Ahmad can drop, Cheese, can you drop Kiva's channel, because she just dropped us some lawsuits in here. This is okay. Let me see what lawsuits I have real quick. And again, you guys, make sure you guys check out Mims. Shout out to Mims because he broke this news on YouTube. And let the people know. Thank you, Mims. Giving credit to Mims, you guys. Make sure you guys check him out in his channel. He's definitely working very hard to, provide as much information about what is going on. Lord have mercy. Oh my God. I'm seeing these emails. Thank you, Kiva. I'm seeing these emails, and literally every person, there's a state to a person. Oh, fuck. Oh my God. Okay. This one's different. Let me see. Yeah, we definitely gonna review this one. There is one North Carolina man, one woman in New York, one New Jersey man, and one man in Georgia. Hold up. Let me see. I've never seen this one. This one must be a new one. Okay. Okay, so this is the one with the party. Gotcha. Give me one sec, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like checking all these lawsuits because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right lawsuits. No joke. We have, okay, one. Oh, shit. And then there's a man in Ohio. Jesus Christ. Like, what the hell? Okay, here we go. Thank you, Jimena Magic of Healing. Thank you for becoming a member, love. Shout out to you, love. Let me show you guys what this is right here. I'm gonna try to go to the facts of the case. This is the okay. So the man in Ohio is the one that worked for Echo. That's what we know so far. The man in Ohio is the one that worked for Echo. We have a North Carolina man, and he is the one that. Let me see, going down, scrolling. Okay, there's a picture of him here. Yeah. You guys make sure you check out Mims, okay? Mr. Combs, legendary white parties. This is the when he talks about the parties, were well known by many, including John Doe. One of a kind, A-list celebrities. Okay, the party took place at Combs' mansion in Hamptons. As John Doe entered, he spotted countless of celebrities and A-listers from who formed the music and entertainment industry. He recognized faces he had seen on TV. As John Doe made his way through the crowd and towards the restroom, he unexpectedly bumped into Combs. Shocked, John Doe found himself face to face with Combs, a titan in the music industry, standing right up in front of his own party. Doe took a picture with him. This is the picture that he took with him. It's a picture. It's in the lawsuit. Okay. Combs took an interest in John Doe and wanted to talk to him. They walked to a more private area near the portable restrooms brought in for the party. There, John Doe told Combs he was a fan of Combs and shared his dreams of becoming a star. Combs smiled, telling him that he had potential and the look. When Combs admitted his voice was not great, Combs assured him that that did not matter. I wonder if he said that to J-Lo too. Combs made clear that the only thing that mattered was having the right look for the industry. And with it, Combs could transform Doe or anybody into a star. Despite the pleasant conversation which occurred, things took an unexpected turn for the worse. Combs abruptly told John Doe that he needed to drop his pants. Okay, this is the guy that was saying that he had fondled him. And caught him completely off guard, confusingly asked Combs to repeat himself. Combs made himself clear. He instructed John Doe to drop his pants and expose his area that Combs could easily inspect it, explaining it was a rite of passage. We read that in the article, right? Why are y'all laughing? It's true. He really listen, J-Lo didn't sing the Selena songs, okay? And then, just am I lying? Diddy did turn J-Lo into a star. She was a star with Selena, don't get me wrong, but in this other market, yes, I'm not lying. Okay. All right. Do you want to break into the music business? Doe immediately felt uncomfortable, froze, and did not know what to do. Combs remained calm and stood in front of him and stretched out his hand in a cup position. Out of fear, anxiety, and imbalance of power dynamic between himself and Combs, John Doe then dropped his pants and exposed his penis as Combs previously instructed. Combs moved closer and grabbed John Doe's penis and genitals with his hands. He firmly cupped and held into John Doe's genitalia for an extended period of time. During this time, Combs moved his hand in such a fashion to manipulate John Doe's area, squeezing and feeling them. Doe was only 16. He was 16 years old. He was 16 years old when this happened to him. Combs abruptly then let go of John Doe's genitals and told him that his people would be in touch. Combs continued with this party as nothing had happened, but for John Doe, everything had changed. John Doe eventually recognized Combs as assaulted him, and through his power and influence over John Doe, because they knew John Doe wanted to become a star. As a result, Combs Combs' sexual assault onto John Doe while he was a minor. John Doe experienced damages, including pain and suffering, mental anguish. Okay. Because of Combs' power and notoriety, plaintiff was afraid to report what had happened. John Doe became another assault victim of Combs. Okay, this is the one. This is the North Carolina man. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna try my best to close some of these tabs here and see what I have, because that's crazy. That's insane. So that's North Carolina. 241. It's like there's so many, and 120 of these cases, and this is out of the 120. There's just so many. There's like, how did he get away with this shit? Then you got department stores, you got hotel rooms. You like, how do people get away with this shit? And then this man got keys. This man was able to do what he had to do to move around. Like, how? Here's another white party. These white parties were people were being victimized at these white parties. Sean Combs' infamous white parties was legendary. Okay, we know that. Hold up. In 2006, plaintiff was employed. We read this is the security guard that was violated, I believe, in the van, right? Once inside the van, plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he was struggling to escape due to the effects of the drugs. Okay, so this is a man from Jersey. So we have North Carolina, Jersey. In a horrific turn of events, Combs assaulted plaintiff by inserting his area into plaintiff's anus and sodomizing him, all while dismissing plaintiff's plea for help and by repeatedly saying, "You'll be all right." After the assault, he just went back to the party. So plaintiff struggled to leave the party due to the drugs, whatever was in the alcoholic drink. As plaintiff was leaving the party, he experienced a disturbing sensation. We read that. And then when plaintiff finally managed to leave the scene and return home, he informed his supervisor of the incident. So this security guard tells the supervisor. Upon arriving home and showering, plaintiff noticed more semen discharge, which intensified his feeling of violation and revulsion. Oh my God. In the aftermath of the assault, plaintiff struggled with intense emotional pain and mental health issues. So we read New Jersey. This is, I have no words. Which one's here? This one's being shared. Let me stop sharing this real quick. Let me see if I can find the other one. They all have the same kind of theme, right? Because they're all going through Busby. So we read New Jersey. There was the woman in New York. Hold up. There was a woman in New York, if you guys remember. She was the one that was there with, I think she was the college student, if I remember correctly. I don't know who's calling me. Yeah, this is the college student one. Let me show you guys. Kiva, shout out to Kiva. Thank you so much for sharing this. And also shout out to Mims as well. In or around June of 1995, plaintiff attended a promotional party at Elks Plaza in New York City for the music video One More Chance by Biggie Smalls. The event was packed with high-profile guests. While plaintiff was dancing with friends, Combs approached her and asked to speak with her privately, expecting an innocent conversation. Plaintiff agreed and followed. Feeling uncomfortable, once in a bathroom, I skipped that part. Once alone in the bathroom, Combs unexpectedly began kissing plaintiff. Feeling uncomfortable and confused, plaintiff asked him to slow down, believing that they were there to talk. Instead, Combs advanced aggressively. When plaintiff attempted to pull away, he struck her violently, slammed her head against the wall, and causing her to fall to the floor. Disoriented and in pain, plaintiff tried to escape, but Combs hit her again, making it nearly impossible for her to move. Combs then lifted her dress and arred her vaginally. while she lay helpless on the floor. Plaintiff tried to resist, but her injuries and shock left her powerless. After the assault, Combs adjusted his clothing in a nonchalant manner and threatened plaintiff, saying, "You better not tell anybody about this or you will disappear," leaving plaintiff terrified for her life. Combs left the bathroom, abandoning plaintiff in a state of shock, fear, and shame. Plaintiff remained on the bathroom floor for a while, trying to regain her composure. Plaintiff felt intense pain in her head from the blows and was emotionally shattered. After some time, she managed to stand, fix her underwear and dress, and wipe away her tears. Terrified that someone from Combs' business might be waiting outside to harm her, plaintiff cautiously gathered the courage to leave the bathroom. Plaintiff left the party and never returned. Since the assault, plaintiff has avoided the news as it triggers traumatic memories. For years, plaintiff kept the assault secret, fearing retaliation from Combs, and hold up, from Combs and Combs businesses. So we're not going to go there to the first cause of action. So there's that one. So that there was a woman. That's just like insane. I'm shocked. Woman from New York, man from New Jersey, a man from Georgia, man from Ohio, and that's the Echo, and then man from North Carolina. And I believe this one, and let me just double check, and I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the comments. I promise I'll look at them in a minute, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to catch up to this and get to speed on this. This one is the 16-year-old from the white parties. That's just crazy. North Carolina, white parties. Ohio man, Echo. New York is the Biggie Smalls. And then Jersey was just double checking. He's like, how do you keep this? Can you imagine having to collect this information and verifying this information and what they have to show? Another white party. So it was 2 white parties that were talked about. Okay. Hold up. And then the Georgia man. So 2 assaults at a white party happen. That's crazy. That is crazy. Hold up, y'all. And then the security guard. I think we reviewed them all so far. Sorry, y'all. I am behind. Thank you, Kiva. Thank you. I got them in the email. Shout out to Kiva. Magic of Healing, Jimena. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, love. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Thank you. Yeah, as sick as AF. No joke. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm in shock by all these lawsuits. I have them all now. They all are similar because they're like, being filed by Busby, but you guys have to understand they are checking to make sure that everything is checking out and what they're saying, that everything is being, said because they had to investigate. Can you imagine how many phone calls they got, how much they had to check through all the information, especially the one that really got to me was the one with Echo, because he's just there trying to do his job. Like that shit really, like, you imagine you're just there to do your job and you're trying to, like, the other brand is competing with you. I just, this is crazy. Thank you so much for the $5. C, is it SPC McPants? Thank you. You are bearing the brunt of it. Yeah, and I'm doing my best to just go over the details. You're right, because like I'm just sharing the details with you guys. And that's why I tell you guys, like, make sure that you are checking on yourself. When I read the Talia Graves, it really got to me, and I had to like step back a little bit because that was too much. But when I'm reading this Echo one, you guys, like this one right here, the man from Ohio, who he's just doing a job. And I don't get it. Like, you assaulted this man because of the competing brand. And not only that, your bodyguards were there. You mean to tell me this happened in 2008? You mean to tell me that nobody stepped in? And then Macy's, he reported the report to this Macy's security people and they did nothing? Like, I don't know what, first of all, the assault is horrific as it is. But what makes me so mad is like, the people that covered up. The people that covered up. Thank you so much for the 5, love. Thank you, thank you. Shout out to you. And basking in it, thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. Thank you, love. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting my channel. That's the part that really gets to me, is like, how the hell, how does this happen? This is Echo. He's over here working at the company, and like even Echo didn't. What did Echo do about this? Did he report this to Echo? He was working in an apartment, or Echo was paying his apartment. He lost his apartment because Macy's, the CEO, said something and got him fired. But he was AR'd in your apartment store. Like, what are you talking about? He was AR'd at that department store and they didn't report it. All of them. Like, how the hell does that happen? And that's why I'm like, come on. Like, when I hear all these bodyguards that are speaking out now, and I'm like, you mean to tell me that this man was doing all this shit and you didn't see anything? You didn't cover up for him? Somebody told me this. No, you saw some of this shit. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I'm sorry, y'all. I have a problem with a lot of these people speaking truth now. And suddenly they're speaking truth now, but they were fucking there covering for the devil. Help me understand that. Sandy, thank you for being a member for 4 months. Shout out to you. It's BS. This is BS. This is why people don't report shit. That's dumb. I have had it. Like, that's what I got to say about that. Like, I hope that they start dropping names. Just like they put Macy's and the Marriott. I'm gonna need them to drop names of the bodyguards. Okay, because if they don't drop it, guess what? The internet's going to. Guess what? We're gonna go in there. We're gonna find banks, records, stuff to pull, anything that's a public information. We're gonna be able to find that, and we'll put some names on it if the people don't want to put names. Like, that's what happens on the internet. People are gonna find who and what. Okay, because to me, any enabler is just as guilty as AF. I'm just saying. Put a name on it, right, Deetra? Put a name on it. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else to it. Big name drop. Okay. There's no way that these people who are now speaking out did not know that this shit, that they covered for this shit. You can't tell me any different. The way in which this is working out, just say, they don't make sense to me whatsoever. Okay, it just doesn't. Yeah, this is It's gross, C. Miller. It really is. Name. Drop it. I'm just saying that. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta go because I gotta check on my own mental health, and clearly this was too much. Thank you, Kiva, again for hitting those lawsuits in my email. Maybe you found them, I didn't find them. And shout out to also Mims, Make It Make Sense, for dropping this information, for being first on YouTube to drop it. Shout out to him. You guys make sure you check out his channel. That's what I'm gonna step out for a little bit because I definitely need a Diddy break from this. Maybe. And I would suggest everybody do the same. Just try to understand that some of these crimes are just horrific, and there's some shitty ass people out there, and that's it. That's all. The best way you can support the channel is by hitting the like button, guys. Do that for me. I'll see you guys. Okay. Bye. Where's my exit button? Right over here. Bye, guys.